if I die, it will probably be of a broken heart. And I don't know if that's an INFJ thing, if that is my Vedic sidereal Cancer rising, or my Enneagram 4. But if I die one day, which I will, it'll probably be over heartbreak. Either because I'm heartbroken or heartbroken over some tragedy in the world. Love itself is the biggest subject, and I have been a die-hard tragic romantic, and I'm absolutely not interested in practical love. I'm interested in cosmic love, and I have been I feel like decapitated, just pummeled and hurt so badly, like just flesh wounds, being, having your finger stuck in some type of wound with salt and lemon and all that. Just, I don't know what to do with myself, honestly, because I lose myself in love, and I don't know how many other INFJs are knowing codependence, but I've worked so hard to get outside that battle. But I'm so poetic and so mentally obsessive and so driven to find that crazy love, that it's like, I don't know, I'm like finally at a place where I'm terrified to like pursue love, or terrified to not pursue love. And I could be madly in love with you and say nothing. Yeah, that's crazy. But my mind's just like, just analyzes and obsesses and tries to figure it all out. And just, so there's this kind of logical approach to wanting cosmic crazy love. And because of some very poor choices in the past that led to a pure insanity, I am now really cautious. I don't really know if that's a maturity thing, or if that's like, eventually, bing, light bulbs go off and you're just not as stupid. I don't really know. But how do you love an INFJ? First of all, we would really appreciate you studying a little bit, at least like benchmark, let's say 10 YouTube videos specific to INFJs and what we're like. I promise you, we are studying the F out of you. We are just wired that way, to watch your patterns. We're like intuitively connected, so we've got that kind of like that other feely and kind of cosmic absorption of you going on, because we're creepy like that. It's kind of like mystical and wonderful but creepy at the same time. I definitely am one of those INFJs that's very psychically and intuitively inclined, so I usually freak out my person, whoever they are. But trust me, it's like everything is like data. It's like we've got a computer running in terms of like patterns, and then we have a computer running in terms of feeling, like all of the different input that we're getting and spidey sense from you. And then we've got like another one that's like intuitive. It's a lot. We are introverts. We're the most extroverted type of introverts. So we want like a really good chunk of time alone, but we never want you to feel offended. So we won't necessarily ask for the time alone if we think that we're going to offend you. Plus, we have this innate desire to do all of the things that are the right things to do and the responsible things to do, so we'll try and do all of those. Plus, we have like these crazy empathy centers, so we don't want to offend you. Plus, we have this innate desire to do all of the things that are the right things to do and the responsible things to do, so we'll try and do all of those. Plus, we have like these crazy empathy centers, so we don't want to overburden you, so we'll try and take things off of your plate as well. And then if you perceive that we are overwhelmed or overloaded and try and take any of that off of our plate, we will then pretend like it's some defense mechanism that rules out our logic, that we don't actually need the break or we don't need the time alone, because we feel that that's going to take away from us being like, I don't know, super resilient. We get overwhelmed and we burn out a lot because we overextend ourselves, and it's like, it doesn't matter how old we are, we never learn, because when we get these pops of energy and zestiness, we just feel like we can change the world. And I don't know, it's like the connectivity, and it's just superhuman. It's like amazing. And then we burn out because we extend ourselves to too many projects, people, things, all that jazz. And yeah, so you will want to definitely, even if we say we don't need time, give us some mofo time, like a good amount of it. Yeah. And let us know it's not like an offensive thing, it's just like a healthy thing. Let's just like do our own thing for a little bit, honey. We can come across as quite ditzy when in reality most of us are relatively intelligent persons, and we have very abstract ways at gathering information, and we do come from an intuitive way of walking in the world, and we are very, very good at deciphering impressions from people and situations, and usually have really good predictions in terms of how particular scenarios are going to go. And this isn't just an intuitive thing, this is just an incredible ability to pattern, people, and just see a lot of things that other people don't see, like putting together clues, like Sherlock in real life, except we're not dressed cool, and most people don't listen to us in the moment, and then we get the validity and credit later. So if you're in a relationship with an INFJ and they are seeing things and you love them and you want to keep them, listen to them. They probably actually do know what they're talking about. And it can be annoying because we're giving you strange predictions and we're not necessarily coming from a place that makes a whole lot of sense to like 86% of the world, because we're in a very small percentage of people that function through intuition and feeling first. But trust us, a good chunk of the time, that stuff is correct. It's not to say we are always correct, but if you want to love an INFJ, listen to them, trust them. If you love an INFJ, please make sure that you take care of them too. Do not let them do all of the things for you, because what will happen is they will completely lose their identity giving to you and trying to do everything. And what will end up happening is they will end up resenting you and potentially do a bait switch down the line once they realize they're in a one-sided relationship. And this is like almost across the board for INFJs. We have like a huge tendency towards this. So if you do love an INFJ, don't take advantage of them, because they will rip your heart out later when they just disappear, because that's what happens. I've heard that term, the INFJ door slam, if you've been doing your homework and watching other videos, and it's a real thing, and I've definitely done that to people. Just completely cut them off and will never speak to them again. And these are people that I was apparently madly in love with. But when you have like taken so much, eventually we will just and it's done. And it's hardcore, and it's really, really painful because we have been so nurturing, so loving, so supportive. We have gotten inside your soul and helped you feel like you've really been seen. And when you experience that type of intimacy and the kind of intimacy an INFJ can give you, and then they go cold and retract it, we're not trying to be brutal. It's just that we process pain as it's happening. A lot of other personalities will process later or down the road, but we process during, so we can be dying in the relationships for months or years. And when it's been enough and we finally wake up and are like, what is going on? We can do that. It's the door slam. It's just like the pain has been so hard and so crazy that eventually we will just cut it out. And it's for real. And so, yeah, there's no coming back from that. I'm sorry. There's actually just no coming back from that. Those people in my life, there's no coming back from that. Lie to us. We are not the right people to lie to, because we always find out. It'll either be intuitive or we'll put shit together. It might take us a couple of years, might be way down in the future, but we will slowly sew those clues together and we will figure that shit out. So don't lie to us, because for us, we are some kind of amoeba type of personality that in general, because we are looking for highest truths and we're so paradoxical, we're really in fact extremely open to your humanity and humanity in general. So we can accept a lot of hard truths, and we can take the craziest parts of life and give room for them. So it is way better to just tell us what's up than to lie. So just don't lie to us. I know most humans lie in some capacity or another, whether it's white lies or whatever. Don't lie to us. We just actually, as crazy as that sounds, as much as you might rip our heart out, as much as you might kill our soul, we are already dying inside when we perceive that somebody that we love is being dishonest with us. It is gut-wrenching. It's horrible. And I promise you, telling us the truth is less burdensome than the pain that you will put us through by being dishonest. So if you have something to say, sit us down, be prepared to know that you are probably killing us inside, and we may or may not show it, but that's better than lying to us. We are one of the most incredibly forgiving types of people. We will go through hell and back to stand by your side and to try and figure something out, because we are always reaching for the unreachable insanities that are in movies for some strange reason. As analytical and sometimes mundane as our world can be in certain ways, we wear a heck ton of black and are very happy in our own little nooks and worlds inside our brain, which are not boring, but to other people may appear. And despite the fact we have straight faces a lot, we are intensely devoted in terms of love. Really devoted, next level. Idealistic. So I would love to be Martha Stewart on wheels and crazy business mom and all the things, everything at once. I want to be Florence Welch, Florence in the Machine. That's what's going off in my heart and my head all day long. And I just want to, sing to stage full of people, except I don't want to sing in front of anybody. So I'm very paradoxical. We're very paradoxical. We are challenging to understand and navigate for ourselves, not just you, because like it is a paradox. You know, one day I want to be like a hermit and not have to talk to anybody for like a year. And I could do that literally for like a year. And then the next day I want to like go out and be like Princess Diana and like, you know, hugging all the people and making sure that the world is turned into some wonderful thing. You know, think Martin Luther King was an INFJ. So that makes sense, right? So anyways, we, you know, 1 minute want to be alone and by ourselves. And the next minute, we really want to be cuddled and held and also told everything else is going to be okay. And really, ultimately, we won't often admit it, but we do want, you know, just to be met with that same volume of willingness in terms of love, you know, to be there for all of the messy moments and also for you to be lighthearted and make us laugh at how serious we are so much of the time. And INFJs totally have spunk and spontaneity. It's just really hidden under all of the serious. You actually have that talent where you can make us laugh, like real laugh, and INFJs have an innate ability to understand all sorts of people's different styles of humor, and we will fake laugh at a lot of things, not intentionally because we hate being inauthentic, but we also don't want to like offend people, so it's like this middle ground of we'll let you know that it's like, okay, I don't really find it that funny, but you know, okay, I'm showing up for sport. Well, anyways, there's very few people on this planet that have actually made me laugh. And if you can make us laugh and you have that part of our heart, do not misunderstand how huge and how important that part is in loving us. This feels stupid. We are already always analyzing and beating ourselves up and have been through so much living in a world that really doesn't appreciate our personality type, hence why we're in the 1 to 2% and why we're so challenging to understand. Trust us that it has been a shit show our whole life trying to fit in. Like, we don't even want to fit in, but like to try and find some kind of common ground, to not constantly be ostracized and judged and try to be forced into like molds that don't feed our soul. We will wilt like, you know, a flower just dying in a vase if you keep forcing us to do things that aren't in alignment with our soul. Like, that's a huge one. You know, we are soul bound. We need to do things that fuel our soul. And we need a really good, even, balanced life of like arts and intellect, you know, science and spirit, family and relationship and work and alone time. We need a very delicate type of balance. And often we have struggled to ask for what we want in life because we've been condemned for how strong and intense those things feel within us and are often called dramatic or oversensitive. And everything is intense and dramatic for us because we perceive the world through emotions and intuition. And that's why we're creepy, frickin' magical, and why so many people are attracted. Don't turn around and penalize us or hate us for the very whimsical, magical, magnetic kind of energy that you remember and were attracted and love about us. And tell us what you want. Don't lie to us. Don't say that you don't need space when you need space. Tell us. We need to know. And tell us what is ideal for you in a relationship. Tell us. Just open up. It's really huge to be vulnerable And it drives us crazy. We become so insecure when you hold things back because we feel it and we can't let it go because it's there. It's a truth. If we know it exists, that energy is there. We really need a relationship with someone who can open those doors and know that you're safe with us by opening those doors. But we need them. Otherwise, we're going to be weird and squirrelish and just total, we won't even be aware of how weird we're being. But that's why. So it's really, really important. And we like to play and we like to have fun as well. But ultimately, it's kind of like lighthearted as we come across as magnetic and that type of thing. We're pretty serious people about relationship, but we're also really serious about understanding you too and making sure that you're getting what you need in the relationship. So if you're in love with an INFJ, I hope that some of these little shares can be helpful. I have best friends that are also INFJs, and I am super geeked out on this stuff. So this is real valid relationship advice. And there's so many things that I could say, so many things that I thought of to say before doing this, and I should have wrote that stuff down, gosh darn it. But yeah. Oh yes, if you say you're gonna call. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. If you don't want and don't like to do things and you're not going to, just tell us that too. We are like straight up kind of people, and we much appreciate that. And you'll deplete our energy and investment in you if you do that kind of stuff. So we're patient. I think we're incredibly patient. But we do also have our, place in that too. And it's just because we get so hurt and so offended, and it's so intense because relationships and love are actually so serious to us. So yeah, I hope that this helped you. Please like, subscribe, let me know if you're in love with an INFJ, or if you have any other questions that you feel I could help answer, or what you thought about this video, if you agree or disagree. Anyways, I'd love to hear below, and yeah, happy love. That's a wrap.